Whoa! Sorry, didn't see you down there. I was too busy looking through this 10-stop neutral density filter made by Gobe. Also, you're on the ground. How was I gonna see that? What's up, guys? So first things first, I'm gonna explain myself. One, my hair probably looks terrible because I just got off work. Two, I'm wearing jeans and it's like, I don't know, maybe high 80s, 88 degrees out maybe. And that's because I just got off work. But today I wanted to make a video talking about this ND filter, which I've been using for the past couple weeks. Now, as I already mentioned, this is a 10-stop neutral density filter, which means you get 10 stops of darkness from this thing. Now, if you don't know what a neutral density filter is, the best way I can describe it is it's essentially sunglasses for your lens. And it's kind of an interesting concept. So, most of the time, photographers struggle with getting enough light for their camera. You know, they'll buy super expensive, big aperture lenses like 1.4, 1.8, and that's to let more light in to help take pictures when there's less light. So you might be wondering, why in the world would you want sunglasses for your lens? Doesn't that make it darker? Yeah, that's how sunglasses work, they make it darker. But sometimes it can actually be too bright for your lens, and you'll have to use insanely high shutter speeds. Today, for example, like I said, it's like 88 degrees out. It's super hot. If I was to take a picture right now, I'd probably need a shutter speed of like, 1/500th of a second, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, if you want to take long exposures of something like this water, that's impossible. I don't care how small you make your aperture. There's no way you're getting a long exposure in this harsh daylight. So how this neutral density filter works is you take the filter, this one in particular is a screw-on, there's other ones that are clamp-ons, and in theory you could just hold it in front of your lens, but this one screws onto a lens like my 18 to 55 here. Just like that, doesn't get in the way at all. You can still mount your lens cap right on top, so it's super easy to use, and it gives you 10 stops of extra darkness. Now, the Gobe ND filter retails for $30, which is relatively cheap for a neutral density filter, but not stupidly so. Alright, you can get these things for $10 or $20 on Amazon, but most of those have reviews of the filter giving off a nasty tint, either green or pink or something like that. Or, if you're buying a variable ND filter, which actually allows you to adjust how dark you're making your image, the cheaper ones typically produce like an X, a faint X in the middle of your photo, which just comes from like, I want to say they consist of like two filters, and when you twist them and they line up right, it like makes an X. Don't know the science behind it. I don't in fact own one, but that's what I've read online. However, this guy costs about $30, only a single density, neutral density, only one shade of darkness, which is 10 stops, but I haven't experienced any of the side effects that I've spoken of in the cheaper ones. So today I'm gonna take some pictures, and thinking back on it, I've already taken pictures with this thing. Back when I was in Seattle. Alright, so currently this is my setup right on the water. Should be cool. Have to wait a little longer because the sun is technically rising over there. Right now I'm just going to play with the exposure and we'll see what we can get. Plus, when I was in the wilderness, you can't vlog while I'm vlogging.
Yeah, I can. What are you talking about? I'm the real vlogger here. That's gonna be a little challenging for us.
Are you saying I can't jump this?
I'm saying that we shouldn't jump this. But we could do that.
Maybe.
We could do that.
I mean, it's not that far, but there's no run up. There's no way this is gonna work. There's nowhere to jump from. We got the run. is never gonna work. This is the only way. Oh god.
How am I gonna do this now?
Toss me my camera.
Are you serious?
Just toss it.
I don't like this.
It's the vlogger life. Alright, you're up.
Turn this off real quick.
Oh, I thought my attempt was bad. So like I said, I've been using this for weeks now, and it's been working really well. Haven't experienced any negative side effects, but we're gonna take a few images today, and I'll try to show you the difference between taking a picture with the filter and without it. Alright, so first we're gonna try and take a photo with the filter on, and we'll mess with the shutter speed. The goal is gonna be to get it as slow as possible. We're gonna leave the ISO at 100, and we'll put the aperture at 7.1, sort of a middle ground aperture, and we're gonna see how slow we can make the shutter with the filter on, and then we're gonna try it again with the filter off, and compare the pictures for tints, vignetting, sharpness, stuff like that. Geez, you know how I said that this filter is like sunglasses for your lens? Well, forget that. This thing is like having sunglasses for your lens. It's really dark. Anyways, with the settings described, a shutter speed of 1/400th of a second was needed to produce a properly exposed photo without the filter. Putting it on, I thought that half a second was giving me the same level of brightness, but looking at it now, I definitely could have used a longer shutter speed. Like I said, it was really bright and I couldn't see my screen very well. One thing I did notice this time though was some significant vignetting. Now this was partially due to the lens, as it happened in both pictures, however it was much more significant in the filtered pic. But some quick adjustments in Lightroom fixed this, however it's definitely worth noting. There also seemed to be a warm tint given off from my photos today, however the white balance was set to auto, so it's possible this was due to the camera acting up in a darker setting. As far as sharpness goes, there doesn't seem to be any substantial difference, although the filtered photo was a tad noisier, but I believe that's due to the fact that I underexposed it in camera and tried to brighten it in post. So, gonna be totally honest, I don't have a clue how any of those look. I don't think they're gonna look that good because honestly I just got by the water and there wasn't really any focus to the pictures. I mean, it was just like water and the other side of the river. So I'm gonna head to one more spot and try and get a little bit more interesting photo, and I'll see you guys there. Also, I guess we might as well get this done while I'm walking back. Let's talk about the build quality of this filter. This guy, while having a relatively budget-oriented price, and I realize some of you might be like, $30 isn't exactly budget-oriented. Well, believe me, I know it's a lot of money for a little piece of glass like this, but a lot of the more expensive ones can get upwards of $100, which is ridiculous, but it's just how it is. I can't do anything about that. But like I said, this is a budget-oriented filter, but it's still made out of glass and metal, which is crazy because a lot of the budget-oriented ones are metal and plastic, or plastic and more plastic. So having one with such a premium build at this price point is pretty cool. It also comes with a nifty little case, fancy box, little cleaning wipe, which is nice because yes, almost every product you get comes with them, but then you never have to buy them yourself. So always a good thing. And if it interests you, the brand is supposedly pretty eco-friendly and they like plant trees and do good ecology, global goodness. So always a good thing to support that. Because without it, we'll have nothing to take pictures of. Sorry, that was weird. Whew. Alright, so don't want to keep you here too long. Just gonna take some quick pics at this spot. A little bit more interesting, we can get a little bit more foreground, background, midground, ground, and it should be cool. So we'll do that real quick. So, in conclusion, if you're looking for a cheap 10-stop neutral density filter, you could do a lot worse than the Gobe ND 10-stop neutral density filter. It's a pretty budget-friendly filter, maybe not so much budget, maybe mid-range filter, you know, in that $30 to $60 range. Not super cheap, but not super expensive. Anyways, you've seen the results, so you can decide for yourself if it's something you'd like to pick up. But that's not the end of the video. So to be totally honest, this is the second time I tried filming the video. The first time I tried, this happened. So literally, I just got off work not too long ago. I came out here to take some pictures with my new ND filter, or newish. I've had it for a few weeks now, and I forgot to bring it. So, I don't know, today I'll take pics without it, and then maybe tomorrow I'll take pics with it, and we can kind of look at the differences together. So, as you can see, I actually forgot the filter, and things didn't go as planned. I'll admit, I was a little pissed off at myself. It wasn't like a huge deal, but I really didn't want to go drive home and get it. So I just spent the day taking pictures. And I really got in the zone. Like, I totally forgot about the video. I got some sweet pictures of this bridge. And admittedly, I kind of lost track of time, and I just kind of got in that groove, you know, when you just keep taking photos and all of a sudden an hour goes by, 2 hours, and I had a really great time. So while I was taking pictures, something kind of cool happened. While sunset was pretty much over, but before it was technically like dark out, there was this really cool moment where we had like all the colors of sunset, but then the moon came out, and I was towards the end of this bridge here, and I just saw this moment, and I literally just started running like all the way along there, just kept running all the way to this bridge, which at night lights up with this really cool like yellowy golden color. Looks super pretty, and I ended up getting one of the coolest photos that I think I have in a long time. It looked a little something like this. So I think the moral of the story here is don't let something small get in the way of your photography. Or this goes for a lot of things, but like I could have easily like just been like, oh, I forgot the filter and drove home, or I could have just been like, oh, I'll just take my pictures and get out. I think if I had brought the filter, I would have just filmed the video as planned. As the sun started to go down, I would have dipped, because you just don't use a neutral density filter at night. There's no reason to. I guess I shouldn't say that, but there's very little reason to, especially a 10-stop one. So I think sometimes just playing it out, you know, going with the flow, kind of being like, all right, so, you know, I goofed, I forgot it, you know, I slipped up, I made a mistake. Kind of just accept that and then be like, all right, what can I do from here? What can I do? So, you know, I filmed that clip for the video explaining how I screwed up, and I just went on and took photos, and it all worked out, and I'm really glad I did. So I just want to remind you all that I think photography's fun. I think you should think it's fun if you're doing it. If you're buying these filters, you know, they're great. You can get incredible results, but don't ever think that you need something, right? Like, for daytime long exposures, yeah, you do need it, but like, there's always workarounds, and maybe the photo you want to take isn't always the photo that you're gonna be the most happy with. Oh gosh. Oh. Anyways, if you like this video, be sure to like it. If you have any questions, have any comments, hit up that comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Hey, this is actually a workout. Hold up. It's like they start going in circles.
Yeah. Attaboy.
Like and subscribe.
That would be a sick ending.